Hey, hey, hey! How are you doing today? You're watching the Tommy Temper Show. I'm Tommy Temper, coming to you live from the leaves are falling already. I think fall might be here. Early fall in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We're overlooking the tree-lined streets, the elm trees of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Alberta, that famous place that you've heard about that is wanting to become an independent state. Mama Red, good to see you. Hey, what's up? I see you and Red are still fighting over the goings on with Red there. Well, you're not fighting with Red, but Red is still fighting with everybody else over accusations and stuff like that. I was watching Red's last broadcast there where you were a guest on his show there. Sounding good. We're feeling good. We're back from the lake and just chilling out here. I was watching a bunch of different stuff on the internet and coming up with a list of some of my favorite podcasters. Of course, I'm up here in Canada, so I have a vested interest in what's going on here. Yeah, you know, it's going on for years already. Accusations there, Mama Red. And then you've got the whole DOA thing where their DOA's, you know, mouthing off about you guys there too. It's kind of a crazy thing that's going on. I'm not really following it in depth, but, you know, having followed what's been going on with you all for many years, it's kind of interesting to see that it's still going on. Yeah, and I understand that Red had his daughter on as a guest there talking about the whole thing, so kind of put that to rest. But has it really been put to rest? I don't know, but let's have a group hug here this morning. Get things started off right here. Yeah, so yeah, I hope everyone is doing okay. I don't know what kind of a stream we're going to have here today or how many people are going to be in here. I'm not really doing any kind of a, you know, big stream where we're seeing what's going on in the world and restreaming a whole bunch of other people or whatever. But I'm more of a putting together a stream here where we're showing what's going on at the moment up here in Canada, because there's some interesting things going on. Alberta, where I live, the province of Alberta, is wanting to separate. Well, they don't like to use the term separate. They like to use the term become independent, right? Because separation is kind of like a marriage gone wrong, you know, when you want to separate. So the province up here wants to become independent from the rest of Canada. And hey, Dash and Grandma, good to see you. We'll try and say hi to people as they pop into the chat. Good to see you all. I've been out at the lake, of course, as you probably well know. And when I'm out at the lake, I don't have all of my equipment out there. You know, like I've got like 4 screens that I normally look at here with my broadcast studio equipment and the musical stuff here, you know, this kind of stuff. To show you gotta see Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. We're the guy. Let's go. Where's those trolls? Trolls are everywhere. Become independent. Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. You got it, Sheree. Trolls are everywhere. That's what I say. That's right. It's the show you gotta Troy. See. Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around. Trolls are everywhere. Good to see you. Yeah. So anyways, as I was saying, because before I was so rudely interrupted by my theme song, or one of my theme songs, shows. I haven't been working too much on any kind of a theme song there lately. I've been kind of hanging out at a lot of other shows. If you're Canadian, you'll probably recognize some of these shows. We'll give a shout out to a few of the podcasters that I watch on a pretty much a daily basis. One of the best Canadian podcasters out there is Moose on the Loose, believe it or not. The number one podcaster that I watch, and I really, really like the stuff that he does, is a guy that calls himself Moose on the Loose. So check out Moose on the Loose for some of the best stuff where he digs up the dirt on Carney and the Liberals and stuff like that. So check that out. Al Munson, good to see you. Hey, big ups to you and your channel there, going hot. You guys are going strong there all the time. In fact, I've got quite a few people on there. Say hi to everyone over Al Munson there at what's the channel there now? I don't know, channel or something. Anyways, Moose on the Loose is probably the number one podcaster that I watch for Canadian information and digging into the behind the scenes interest that Mark Carney, our illustrious Prime Minister of Canada, is up to. And he's like a real capitalist, he's like into owning stocks, but it appears that out of the 103 stocks that Mark Carney actually owns, probably only 2 or 3 of them are Canadian stocks. Out of 100 stocks, 103 stocks, 3 of them are Canadian. The rest of them are American stocks. So it makes you wonder, what or who is the interest of our prime minister? It appears that he's wanting to do better for the United States than Canada, because he's not doing a good job for us here in Canada. We've got this 35% tariff. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And Canada is fighting back against the United States with counter tariffs, which is pissing off Trump. And oh no, why do I get a phone call as soon as I go live? Okay, hang on a second here. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Sorry for that musical interlude there. Just had an important phone call where I was trying to coordinate the big event on the 15th of August. I said that there's something special that's going to be happening on the 15th of August for me here, which we'll be letting you know about, which is kind of a big move happening in my life. So I don't know if I would call it a move, but a transition, shall we say, from one place to another with regards to what I'm doing with being out there when I'm not at this location. So we'll be setting up at another location and be checking out on that. So you'll be able to see what's going on there. Hey, let's see what else is going on there in the chat. We got ABD in there. Good to see you in there. Is that Nuts in there? Nuts and Crackers. Hey, good to see you there, Nuts and Crackers. Big ups to you there. Al Munson, you'll never grow unless you come on the Charlie Show, says Al. Oh, you guys. Yeah, but you guys, I'm not into bashing people. If I come on your show, you guys are always bashing somebody. Always. And I'm like Mr. Nice Guy. Remember? I played this already once this morning. I'll play it for you, Al. This is for Charlie and Al. Let's have a little bit of niceness. Be nice out there, show a little bit of love. Give some people some hugs on your show once in a while instead of bashing people. But yeah, it's fun to watch that. I know what you mean. Yeah, and I've been kind of missing out on your shows there because I haven't really been following people that are going live and stuff like that all that much. So, it's that kind of a thing. Yeah, let's see what's going on here in Canada. Carney government plans to spend millions propagandizing young Canadians about climate emergency. So this is kind of the latest big thing happening here in Canada. And I don't know if I want my tax money spent on stuff like this. Aren't we over this climate emergency stuff already and net zero? Like Trump is going poo-poo the whole thing, gotten out of it. You guys are getting rid of your everyone has to buy an electric car type thing, getting rid of the electric rebates and stuff like that. You guys are, like pretty smart down there. Trump is a pretty smart guy. Oh, did I say that? I know there's going to be some people that don't like that. But yeah, I'm not really a climate emergency. The sky is falling kind of a guy, or stuff like that. But don't spend my money on propagandizing young kids. You're already doing it because my young son said to me, Dad, this is going to be a desert right here where we're living in the future. And we're all going to die, And I said, what? Where did you hear that from? He said, school. And I'm going, what the hell are they teaching you in school? Well, yeah, it's a climate emergency. And I'm going, oh, my God. Come on. The kids can't even lead a decent life these days without being brainwashed into thinking that the sky is falling and that they're going to be dead tomorrow. Come on. This is ridiculous. Moose on the Loose is my ex-wife. Moose on the Loose. Yeah, exactly. At the mall. Yeah, spending and stuff like that. Yeah, I agree there, Troy. But Moose on the Loose is kind of one of the best, probably the number one podcaster that I watch in Canada. So if you're Canadian, you want to subscribe to Moose on the Loose. Actually, I'll give a shout out to a few podcasters that I watch, and just so that you can watch them. And actually, I'm going to, in the future, actually get their exact channel names and include it in my description on my feed here. By the way, how do you like my new hat here? I've gone to the flat-brimmed ball cap here, whatever kind of a hat it is. I don't know, rapper hat, I guess you'd call it. I've gone rapper style here now with the Tommy Temper hat. The other one had a bad reputation with Queenie, You know what happened to my hat the last time. I'm not going to mention it here because I'm having trouble selling merch on my site here with talk like that. But anyways, back to what I was talking about here. Moose on the Loose, probably my number one person that I watch. Now, these are in no particular order, but these are some of the other people that I watch. Most of them are Canadian people here. So if you're interested in Canadian politics, and these are mostly people that and they're mostly right-wing type podcasters. I do watch the odd left-wing podcasters, but man, I just can't take it. I can't take watching the left-wingers because they're just so skewed, and they just don't make sense to me. And I'm kind of a common sense kind of a guy. It's hard to be common sense, but the other guy that is what I would call to be kind of a clickbait kind of a guy, his titles of his stuff is kind of clickbaity, is Clyde Do Something, or not Clyde Do Something, Mr. Sunshine Baby. Mr. Sunshine Baby would be another one that you maybe want to watch. Some people, say that it's a little bit too clickbaity. Oh, what's that? Oh, no. Don't tell me there's a fire or something like that going on around here. Anyways, I think a fire truck or something is driving by the place here. We've got, Mr. Sunshine Baby. That would be another guy that you want to watch. Another guy would be Clyde Do Something. Clyde Do Something would be another guy that's worthwhile watching. Another one would be, if you're into seeing what's happening with the price of real estate in Canada and what's happening with rentals, and if you want to buy a house or something like that, the Angry Mortgage podcast. He's pretty funny because he's like, fuck you, fuck this, piece of shit, garbage, asshole, So like he's swearing all the time on his podcast there, but funny to watch for a Canadian podcaster. Really filthy mouth guy, but interesting podcast. Another guy that is really, really, really good with statistics is Mark Nixon. Mark Nixon, kind of a name that if you're American, you might think, oh, Nixon. Yeah, I remember Nixon. Well, he wasn't a very good president, whatever. But a guy by the name of Mark Nixon is a really good Canadian podcaster, and I watch him quite a bit. He's very, very good with statistics. Especially on the Carney program there, and with the Liberals and what they're doing in government there. Another really good guy in Alberta, he lives in Alberta, is a guy by the name of John Bolton. John Bolton. He does a kind of a morning podcast, like a really short thing, once every day, his cup of coffee in hand, whatever, and talking about the very latest of what's happening, especially on things that are happening with us here in Alberta. So keep a check on him. Another guy is Creighton's Right podcast with Creighton's Right podcast. So check him out. Another guy from Saskatchewan, podcast out of Saskatchewan, is a guy by the name of Frank Vaughn. Frank Vaughn. You might have heard of him if you're Canadian. Cannabis Rex, good to see you. Don't be jealous of Charlie. Nuts, says Cannabis Rex there. Hey, Rex, good to see you. Hanging in there on the left wings of the podcast. Another guy that I watch a lot. Actually, I like this guy. He's American, but you got to like Salty Cracker. I don't know if you watch Salty Cracker at all, but he's like kind of a filthy mouth kind of a guy there, and whatever. Always maybe he's a bit homophobic or whatever. He throws a few things like that in there. And he doesn't really like the left wingers there in the States, but pretty funny stuff. I like watching him just for a good laugh. Another really good guy that's lives really close to me here, and one day I'll probably meet him, is Unacceptable Fringe. Unacceptable Fringe. He does a YouTube. These are all YouTube channels. And he's, I think he moved from Calgary to just east of Edmonton, or west of Edmonton here. And maybe one day I'll actually meet him. Out of all these people, he's probably the one guy that I might meet. And maybe some of these guys I might get on my show here too. You never know. If I ever do kind of a show where I bring guests onto the show, then some of these guys would be really good to bring on. Another channel that I watch a lot of is Sky News Australia. It kind of pops onto my screen here a lot, and they're really big on calling out, the woke stuff that's going on in the United States and whatever. Even though they're from Australia, a lot of their stuff is taken from the American stuff that's going on. So Sky News Australia is really worth watching. Another one that is actually really good. It's a couple, and I believe they're somewhere in Ontario, called Northern Perspective. Northern Perspective, and they're again right-wing podcaster, and they do a show, and they actually called out this longest ballot thing that's going on in Alberta here. So Northern Perspective is a really good channel to be watching. And another one that I was actually on there today, he actually gives me a shout out on his channel by reading out his chat. And he knows that I'm a podcaster here in Edmonton. And he does a podcast from Edmonton, but he's a left wing podcaster. Or, you know, at least I'm pretty sure that he's left wing, but his podcast is very, very professional. And he brings on guests that are, you know, kind of, most of his guests, I would say, are left wing, but he does bring on the odd right wing guest on his show. Ryan Jesperson, big shout out to him there today. I was on his channel there today, and he gave me a little bit of a shout out there too, reading some of the stuff in the chat. So that's pretty good. We like that. Munson says we're very reserved. Yeah, exactly. I can believe that. Very reserved. Yeah, get that bowl of chitlins out, says Nuts and Crackers. You beautiful day. Cannabis Rex, you need new material, Nuts. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my chat talks to each other in the chat there. Tommy Temper, do you ever remember Manitoba being on fire all summer? Yeah, exactly. In fact, I've got some stuff on here. I think I might have maybe a map of Manitoba being on fire. Definitely. Well, yeah, but just remember that, everyone is like, okay, if you're on the side that the planet is burning, we're all going to burn in hell, and the temperatures are rising to the point that the whole planet is burning. Well, it's easy to say that. Well, did you see that there's fires? Yeah, there's fires in Alberta, fires in BC, fires in Manitoba. There's fires everywhere. Right across Canada every year. And of course, sometimes it's a little bit cooler. Sometimes it's a little bit hotter. Sometimes it's a little bit wetter. Sometimes it's a little bit drier. It depends on the year. Depends where you are. And this year, it's Manitoba's time. And also, what kind of a job are they doing with their bush and stuff like that, underbrush? Are they doing fire lanes and stuff like that? Are they, what kind of forest management have they got going on in Manitoba? And you know what? Government doesn't like to spend a lot of money on stuff like that at all. They don't, because they don't hardly have any money. They like to send money to Gaza, or to the Ukraine, or to LGBTQ women's organizations in deep, dark Africa or South America, stuff like that. That's what Canada does with its money. And the provinces, especially like Manitoba, they don't have a lot of money to begin with. They don't really. What do they have? Where do they get their money from? They don't have like a whole bunch of natural resources that they're selling, and a big pile of money to be able to look after their forests and stuff like that. So forests kind of languish as something that don't get properly looked after. Look at California. Even California can't look after stuff like that, right? They have a little bit of a fire that starts by an arsonist somewhere in California, or by a live wire. Of course, they have the Santa Ana winds and stuff like that happen on a yearly basis. Dries everything out, and everything's all dry. And a fire starts, and hey, it just all starts burning and really burns out a whole big area. Well, same thing with Manitoba. They're a big province, and it's really, really, really difficult to manage forest, underbrush, and stuff like that in Manitoba. So they've got a lot of fires going on there right now. I would hasten to say exactly how many fires are going on there, but I think we can probably bring up a bit of a map here and show you what it looks like. Hang on. Here's what it looks like. And this is actually, if you look close here, it is Saskatchewan on the far left, and then Manitoba in the middle here, and then Ontario right where I'm sitting. So, yeah, awful lot of fires burning right now. There's absolutely no doubt about it because of dryness. Dryness being a very dry year this year. And yeah, a lot of these fires, how do they start? Ask yourself that, Rex. How do these fires start? Is it because of climate change that these fires are starting? Or is it because of arsonists? Oh, maybe there might be some arsonists out there doing some burning and stuff like that. Like, come on. Like, this is not climate change that starts the fires. It's arsonists that are starting the fires. And the fires, of course, are going to burn. Like I could go out right now and start a fire somewhere in Alberta here, and it would burn like hell and burn a big area. Right, because I started that fire. Do you blame that on climate change? No, I don't blame that on climate change at all. I'm not like a climate change alarmist or anything like that. So neither should you be. So come on, smarten up. Smarten up. Okay, let's go. Next topic. Actually, I don't have any topics at all. We're just going to run by the seat of our pants here, and it could be anything that we're talking about at any moment in time here. But we will get into some, different stuff here, a bit of American politics and some Canadian stuff that's going on here. It's really crazy. Let's see. This is one here, a fatality. There's been a fatality in Calgary, as a matter of fact. This is a big one that came up here. We'll just bring this one up here. There was a thing with the bus that happened here. This is a pretty crazy one here in Calgary. Let's watch this little bit here. Hang on. You won't believe this one.
Watch as you see a woman in a brown jacket running alongside the moving shuttle bus, with a massive group of bus users chasing down the bus in an attempt to board it. In response to the scene of the Franklin LRT station, Calgary Transit says in a statement, as soon as we are made aware of a situation, Calgary Transit promptly deploys shuttles to assist customers. In this case, 13 shuttles have been deployed. Transit ambassadors are also on site, helping customers with wayfinding and directing them to the shuttles. During the mad rush to catch a bus, this man says this is something he's seen before.
In my homeland like this.
Yeah. Does it remind you of your homeland? Where's your homeland?
Punjab.
And it's like this?
Yeah.
Watch
Yeah.
as you see a woman in a brown jacket.
Welcome to Canada. Welcome to Canada. Oh, it's just like the homeland. Okay. Yeah, it is just like the homeland. Oh, just hang on here. As soon as I start my podcast, then my wife gets out of bed, and then she comes over here, and now she's wanting to talk to me. Oh, my God. The phone rings. My wife wants to talk to me. It's just like, what next? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know. Okay, but anyways, that's what Canada is turning out to be like, just like India. And I'm not making this crap up either. This is just off the cuff. And of course, Cannabis Rex is going, Tommy Temper, where do you get this shit? And I'm going to tell you, it just flies onto my screen out of nowhere. I don't make this crap up. It's just the way the world is now. It's a communist thing. Yeah. Oh, speaking of communists, what about the communist book people? Crazy. You saw it? Did you see that? Oh, unbelievable. Hang on here. Let me see where that is now. The communist thing. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, I was walking down the street there yesterday, and I encountered the communists out there. I don't know if you have communists where you live, but these people are pretty open as to what they're up to. And yeah, I just happened to fall upon their wares, out on the street. So I did a little video there yesterday, not a very long one, but yeah, you might have seen it. This is pretty funny. If I can find it here. Holy shit, a lot of stuff comes up here on my, oh boy, on this group here that I'm involved with. Hang on, why can't I find one of the things? I thought I posted it on here, but I can't find it. Come on, where are you? I hate to have stuff that's not, well, it's because you mentioned that I'm having trouble finding it, of course. Maybe I have it in my photo album here. Hang on. Oh, this is a good one here. Yeah, I actually saw a guy that was driving down the street. Oh, actually, I heard some honking. Heard a bit of honking that was going on White Avenue when I was out there yesterday walking around, and came across this guy here that ended up doing this. If you look at that, he's going like with his little gun symbol, eh? Look at that closely. See how he's got his hand up in the air? It's like he's shooting a gun with his hand there. But what he was doing was honking his horn a whole bunch of times at another guy, and then does that to the guy. And yeah, pretty wild. Look at road rage. Oh, look at that. Give him the finger, the gun sign there. He's honking his horn a bit at this guy right here. Bit of road rage on White Avenue. Oh my, road rage. So we saw that little bit there yesterday, a bit of road rage going on. But I also saw the communists out there too. Hang on here. Let me see if I can find the communist clip out here. Oh, there's this too. Hang on. We had our Prime Minister of Canada out there, and I'm not going to show too much of this here. Hang on. I'll just show this amount of it here. But here, our Prime Minister of Canada, Al Munson, you'll probably like this because this is more up your avenue there. But our Prime Minister of Canada, I don't know where this was. It was just maybe in British Columbia or somewhere. He goes out to this pride parade. What does it say there? Jock Mail. What is that, Jock Mail? That sounds kind of weird. But anyways, he's hugging this guy who's wearing a thong, and his butt cheeks are showing out there. And the Prime Minister of Canada, he's like just like Trudeau, where apparently his son or daughter or whatever he's got there is a transvestite or something like that. Don't quote me on that because I don't know exactly what the details are. But he apparently has a child that is of the ilk, and he's out there on the Pride Parade giving a hug to this guy. And well, I could show you a little bit more in there. Hang on. But I don't want the video. My video will go X. They'll up it one tier or something, and half the world won't be able to see my video if I show you more about what's going on here. So I have to be careful about what I actually show you here. Oh my God. But like the guy's like he's wearing like a pink thong, for God's sakes. And our Prime Minister is right in there like a dirty shirt. Yeah. And I don't know. This is what our country is coming to. This is Canada. I don't know that I would have gone to that parade or done the kind of things that he's doing out there in public, because it's just not really becoming in my book. I don't know. I just don't do stuff like that. I'm just kind of a normal guy, a normal dude with a normal wife and a normal family, like the Simpsons, that kind of thing. That's the kind of life that I have here. But yet we have a government that is like this. This is what the government in Canada is all about. And I'm not really too keen on that one. I'll tell you that right now. It's just not up my alley. But yeah, I have to be careful about what I show you on here because it might get me into YouTube trouble. You know, you hear a lot of these podcasters talk about that, but it's true. It is absolutely true. We do have trouble with stuff like that. So I can't show you the full details of that, but you might have seen it yourself. Yeah, we're moving some of our stuff out of the campgrounds, so we're slowly moving the stuff back into the city and getting ready for another location. So that's another thing that we're kind of working on here right now. I was down at the exhibition grounds this year, and there are what I classified as race wars going on. Oh, no, never mind race wars. There's this one here where, let's see this one here. I videoed this guy here. I don't know what this is all about here, but this is going on here in Canada too. I don't know, kind of weird.
Right now it's on iron.
Yeah, they're arming up down here. Got the bazooka on his shoulder. He's gonna be famous. Yeah, he's gonna be famous. Yeah, right. So there's your military in Canada. They're arming up. So I caught that little quippet there going on in Canada. Let's see what else we had here. There was a kind of a race war thing that happened as well. Let me just see if I can find that here. I can show you the race war video that I shot at our exhibition. We have this thing called the exhibition grounds, and they do their thing once a year for about a week or so. And a whole bunch of people go down there, and they all have fun and whatever. And I'm just trying to find the video of it where we had people fighting out there. But the problem is my wife does so many videos as well that her videos are embedded in with my videos, and then I can't find the one that I'm looking for. So I don't know, maybe we'll bypass that one. Anyways, there was a big fight going on at the exhibition grounds between two different factions. And what's happening up here is that we've got people from different countries that show up here, and then they kind of form gangs. In other words, they don't really assimilate into Canada, but they form gangs with their different groups of people. And then they end up fighting each other. They do it in the streets, they do it in the cars, they do it with guns, and they do it at the exhibition grounds. So, you know, I actually witnessed it when I went down to the exhibition grounds and saw that. Probably the latest one that I videoed here that I want to show you, which I actually started to look for. I think I'm going the wrong direction here. Yeah, I am. With my videos and pictures and stuff like this. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, this was it here. This was the video here. Okay. Okay, check this out. This is what happened. This is at the exhibition grounds. You can see the Ferris wheel in the background. I'm standing there just watching what's going on. Now watch these guys start fighting here. Check this out. I knew there's going to be a big fight down here. So what this was, got a big race war going on down here at the exhibition grounds. Check it out. So I called it a race war. But it's basically the Africans fighting the Arabs. And there's two different gangs of youth that are fighting down here at the exhibition grounds. And then eventually the cops, whatever, detained. I don't know if anyone actually got arrested, but they detained a couple of people that were involved in fighting. But there were actually 3 different fights that happened at the exhibition grounds, and yeah, I kind of caught a little bit of that happening, and it's kind of unfortunate. It's funny because this guy is working security at the exhibition grounds. And so I asked him about what's going on. Hey guys, Tommy Temper Show. What's going on down here?
Hey, you just vlogging us?
Yeah.
Oh my god, hi, how are you? That's all.
What's going on down here tonight?
Are you enjoying?
Hey?
That's all.
Everything's having a good time?
Okay. Yeah, some people are causing trouble because we have security here. We are handling it, no worries. Everything's all good.
You got everything under control?
Good.
Okay, sounds good. Great. Okay, so that's what's happening from security down here. Apparently they've got everything under control down at K-Days. Yeah, everything's under control, all right. Not likely. Anyways, let's see what else happened here. Give you another clip. Hang on, we got another mob happening down here. Mob going that direction. Yeah, so oh, I wonder where security is. There's security. Security's watching the mob there right now. So watch for something else to happen down here. What's going on? Who's running where? Those guys, they're pissed off though. Everyone's pissed off tonight.
So what's going on, you know?
Fights going on. Basically, I don't know if it's exactly right, but I think it's the Africans against the Arabs. What else is new, right?
We already know who's winning there.
Welcome to Canada.
Yeah,
no one's going to win.
All of them?
I don't know. Yeah, I know. But they're going that way anyway if you want to keep watching. Okay, I think I'll go over there. Yeah. So, as it turns out, like I say, the cops did make some kind of an arrest. Here's a picture off of the top of the Ferris. Oh no, I don't know what this is off the top of here, because you can see the this is off the top of the giant Ferris wheel. What the fair kind of looked like. That one there was taken by my wife, I think. Let me see if I can pull up some of the latest stuff of what I shot. I was out there last night out on the streets of Edmonton doing a few videos and stuff like that of some of the things that are happening around here. And I'll show you a couple of the videos that I did there last night. Let me just see here. Like I said, it's kind of terrible here that this here is right in my, okay, you guys, especially you, Catamus Rex, are you wondering, well, what's it like in your neighborhood? What's it like in your neighborhood, right? Whatever happens in your neighborhood, okay? This is my neighborhood. Better be here. Look, it's Nenshi's territory, Old Strathcona. Never looked better than today. Homeless are moving in. Oh, man. Looking bad. What's he gonna do, take a whiz? No way. No way, that's not a bathroom right there, is it? Holy mackerel. Nancy. Oh, this is Heather McPherson's location here in Edmonton. Looking good, boys. Looking good. Great. Where's the Hells Angels? We need the Hells Angels down here. Yeah. We need more than that, I think. Yeah, and then there's this here. Here's another guy. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's converting a shopping cart into something really weird out there on the strip. Look, there's some guy stealing the wheels off that shopping cart so that he can make his own cart down there. It's White Avenue. Didn't you know? How can you tell we're on white? I don't know. Things are looking good down here at the Buckingham. Yeah, that's at the Buckingham. That's where the left wingers all hang out there over at the Buckingham bar, have a few beers and stuff like that. Oh, what else did we see? Oh, this was an interesting one. If you know DOA, I kind of shot this because I saw something that had something to do with DOA. So yeah, check this one out here. This one's pretty good. Check out this guy's car on White Avenue here. He's like sticker mania here. What's that? More comebacks than DOA. I don't know. Is that DOA's new ride? On white. Yeah. Check it out. Did DOA trade his van in for a car? I don't know what the deal is there. That's kind of weird. And then we have this weird glass bathroom over here on White Avenue here in my district. So I was kind of sitting out there last night, just in the bench outside of it. Oh, hang on here. Holy jeez. What happened to all my videos here? Let me get to it. Oh, yeah. Here's another thing. If you wonder what Edmonton it looks like, here's another view of some of the goodness of my city here that we live in. Can you tell her you're on White Avenue? Oh, probably because of all the graffiti, grime and stuff like that. Scan to see the future. Look at this. More graffiti. More graffiti. More graffiti. Here's some stuff posted all over the place. More graffiti. More graffiti and more graffiti. Oh my. More graffiti. Looks like a bunch of garbage down here. White Avenue sure has deteriorated over the years. Used to be a nice district. Host no bills. Only graffiti. What does it say here? For I love you. Fuck the police. No. Hug the police. Ah. Yeah, right. Kill men. No. Hey, it's the lease though. Come on down here. You want to lease this place out quick. On White Avenue. Tommy Temper. Yeah, that's my city. Welcome to Edmonton. And I moved to this area because it was like a really nice area to live in. And as you can see, it's kind of gone downhill over the years. And it's not quite as nice as it used to be. Okay, that I can tell you 100% for sure. Let's see here. I don't know what happened to my... oh, here's another one here. They designated part of the city, or this corner of the city, as Pride Corner. Okay, Pride Corner, and the Pride group, whatever, they designated this area because they used to hang, and the reason that they used to hang around here at Pride Corner is because there was this preacher, and it was not really the Pride people at all, but it was the preacher. There was this preacher that would stand on a little milk crate, and he would, preach on that corner. So the LGBTQ community harassed him, right, so much to try and get rid of him. So the whole LGBT thing went there because of this preacher preaching there. But the guy that was there first was actually the preacher, right, preaching about, what preachers are like. They don't like, homosexuals and stuff like that. So, of course, they're going to be a target for the Pride group in town. So the Pride group in town petition, they go to city council and they go, oh, city council, we want this corner to be Pride Corner, just because the preacher was preaching there, right? That's the only reason that they did that, right? So city council and all of their, because they're using my tax dollars, right? And my tax dollars are funding the city of Edmonton. So they make these signs, whatever, and put them up on the corner, which that's a metal sign. And they designate this to be the Pride Corner. And But now they're not there anymore. We're the Pride people. I never see them there anymore. They designated a Pride corner. I don't see them dancing around or doing too much of anything, because the preacher guy is really not hardly there anymore, right? Because the only reason that the Pride people were there and bitching and doing their thing was because of the preacher, right? So now that they designated as Pride Corner, now you hardly see any Pride people there, but the sign is still up there, and I happen to do this video.
Here at Pride Corner on White Avenue, and if you didn't see it the first time, we'll show you again. Make sure no peeing over here. Oh, is it ever stink here? Holy jeez. Come on, Pride Corner. Can't you do better than that? Holy mackerel, White Avenue.
Yeah, okay. So I would say something like that, or do something like that. Shame on me for doing that video. But yeah, that's just part of the way it is down here. Okay, so we're down by the glass bathroom, and there's some tweakers and stuff like that around there, because the area has gotten so bad that there's tweakers generally pretty much everywhere. And we just happen to see this going on. Again, this is Edmonton.
Okay, you just went in the girls' washroom there just a second ago. Let's see what happens. Oh, he's coming out now. Okay. Can't make this shit up. Better go back in again.
Okay, just imagine if you're a woman and you want to use this bathroom in the city, and you've got stuff like this going on. Would you feel safe? Would you feel safe if you were actually in that bathroom with this wacko going in and out? And he was actually in the men's washroom before this, and then he goes into the women's washroom.
Check and see what the girls are up to. Okay, that's what's happening down here at the glass bathroom on White Avenue. On White Avenue. Come on down. There's the old Strathcona Hotel. And Hudson's Pub there. Looking good. Hey ladies, you should go check out the bathroom over there. The dude went in there. He's still in there doing something. I don't know what he's up to.
Yeah. So,
but don't
welcome to Edmonton. Welcome to Edmonton. This is the crazy city that it has gotten to be really crazy. And this is the one that I was looking for. This is the communist bit here, where the communists are out in full force. Look out for the communists. And by the way, the communists do not like Mark Carney, the liberal, because they don't like capitalists, right? And he's like the capitalist, the dude like that. So, you know, but yeah, they're a working class person. Well, who do you want to work for? The capitalists? No, we hate the capitalists. We want to work for the government. The government. Is that what the communists are all about here? But anyways, check out this bit.
Okay, we're down here on White Avenue. Hey, what do we got on White Avenue here, boys? What do you got on White Avenue here today?
Oh yeah, we're the communists.
Oh yeah, we're the communists. The Revolutionary Communist Party, Marxist.ca, out on my streets trying to convert people. And what are they doing? They're like good capitalists trying to sell communist merch, whatever. So the communists are actually capitalists trying to sell their stuff for money. Go figure. You can't make this shit up. The communists, the Revolutionary Communist Party, Marxist.ca. Where do you guys get all this information from?
Marxist.ca?
Where did you guys learn about this?
We read about it in books. Yeah.
Books?
Yeah. Books like this one by Karl Marx.
What did you learn? Did you learn about how many people died under communism at all?
Well, we learned about the bosses here. Mark Carney is not a very good person. I don't think
Mark Carney.
the communists will tell you that, but
yeah, but he's kind of communist in my mind. Yeah, look at that. The guy's actually in his hand there. He's got their latest publication, which has a picture of Mark Carney on it, you know, and some kind of a story about Mark Carney in the communist rag. But they don't like Mark Carney and all.
Banker.
Yeah.
How do you
He's
get
a banker.
less communist than being
Liberalism, communism, kind of very, very close. NDP even closer.
Liberalism's free markets.
Dean won't like
So you
that
guys
one.
university students?
No, workers.
Just workers? Working people. So what are you doing down here?
Talking to people about communism, getting filmed by random people.
Sound good. Well, yeah, if you come down here, well, you're in public, I guess. Okay, well, anyways, I don't know. I'm not really a Marxist fan, you know, as you can tell. But thanks a lot for talking to us today.
Okay, so that's the communists down on the strip there yesterday. I don't know. They don't have very many people. They didn't have very many people walking up to them, or you know, it was really hard for them to convert other people over. But they said they were working people, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, you're communists, but you're working people. Who are you working for? Maybe you're working for somebody that's a capitalist, right? Exactly the opposite of your communist idealism. So I don't know if that's such a good thing. It just doesn't go with the whole thing. And they're out there selling good capitalists themselves, selling the merch. So yeah, I would have to say I don't know about that. Okay, we've got this clip here about these kind of crazy guys. This is the puppy walk. I don't know if you've heard of this stuff here going on at all, but you've got these people that dress up as puppies. This is in Belgium. Now, is society going downhill? What the hell is the matter with people? Like, these people are just brain dead or something. I don't know what's going on. Who in their right mind puts on like a dog outfit or a dog mask or something there and pretends to be a dog? Or they're actually identifying as a dog. Okay, is that one of the many genders that there are out there? These guys are a particular type of gender. So if you're into this many genders and genderism, and oh yeah, no, there's not just two sexes anymore, but there's like 1,000 genders, and this is one of them. And I don't know what the hell they do in their spare time, but I don't know that I want to know. Yeah, exactly, Troy. They need to expand on their barking skills, that's for sure. Brett in the house. Hey, good to see you, Brett. Oh, there's one moo cow in there. Did you see that? That was the moo. Moo. The insanity is universal. Oh my God. Edward Cam. House of Influence. House of Bad Influence. I am not an elbows up fan at all. So don't call me an elbows up fan. I am a conservative. I dislike Mark Carney. I dislike the elbows up crap. I've got nothing to do with that whatsoever. Okay, so you don't like politicians or politics or anything like that, and you think that, you know, like Brett, you know, there's right wing, left wing, bird crap, whatever. I'm like, all I want is the best for everyone, right? Low taxes and the least amount of government, okay? And I don't like the liberal Carney approach to anything, because all it means is that you're all, yes, you did say that. How's the bad influence? You did. You absolutely did. Because Salty came into your chat, and he was on your panel or something, and he said, oh, I like Tommy Temper. And you said, oh, yeah, he's an elbows up guy. You know, I watched you say that. So my memory is actually pretty sharp. But anyways, no problem. Yeah, I won't hold it against you. But anyways, nice to see you in the chat. That's for sure. Yeah, anyways, back to the dog thing. They need to work on it a little. Need to work on their bark a little. Oh, piss off. You know, what's the matter with these people? Like, where do they all come from? It's like almost like it's a dog Halloween. Oh, jeez. It's almost as bad as the internet here. Yeah. Okay. Enough with the dog bit. Let's move on to the next bit here. Anyways, I saw that and I thought, you know, I have to show you that. Okay. Here's this guy here. He doesn't like the government, and he thinks that we're all getting effed over by the government, which I would have to pretty much agree with him. You know, we are definitely getting effed over by the government. And let me put this bit on here for you. Hang on. Okay, let's listen to the typical Canuck Canadian and what he thinks about our government up here in Canada.
We're so disgruntled as people that even all this bullshit we're going through, nothing is changing, and yet people go on with their days complaining, and you wonder why folks like myself, like you, are getting angrier by the day. You have the mayor of Calgary coming out saying it's a liberating feeling for Canadians not to own anything in terms of housing, while this is the same lady who probably owns a bunch of properties like the Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who actually has a cottage that was being worked on during COVID and told the rest of us that our jobs weren't necessary to go to. Yet this motherfucker was getting his cottage worked on that's worth millions of dollars. Now on top of that, they're going to tell you that you can't own anything because guess what? They're going to increase the capital gains tax from 50% to 66%. Now you're going to tell me anything over $250,000, a third of that profit has to go to the government for what? The thing is, the worst part about that is that we pay it's not only that, the capital gains tax. We pay our income tax, we pay buy tax, sell tax, carbon tax, this tax, so-and-so tax, every fucking tax that's possible that you can think of. Even a rain tax is being debated. And yet nothing in our country reflects how much we actually pay. Our healthcare is shit. Our roads are shit. Our public services are shit. Our public transport can't even get finished on time. It took 14 years to fucking build a railway from Toronto to Mississauga or wherever the fuck it's supposed to go. And yet there's still fucking dirt in the ground in a hole there. And people are just driving over it while the potholes are just fucking up your cars on a daily basis. Nothing about this country makes sense. I have to agree there. The fact that they want to even dig into our pockets even more should make you beyond angry. It should enrage you. It should take you to the point of what the fuck am I doing as a Canadian? What the fuck am I doing for the future generations that are come for me? I'm the same guy that has 3 kids. You're going to tell me why the fuck am I so mad? It's because this country's leaving them with nothing but just bones on the floor. They're working us to the fucking T, man. I know people that are working non-stop from morning till day, 6 a.m. to fucking 10 p.m. to 11, midnight, and these people are still complaining that it's too fucking hard to make ends meet. You go to the grocery store, you double-guess yourself. You go for some leisure time with your family, you're double-guessing yourself. And on top of that, you want to start a business, what? You're going to start fucking double-guessing yourself because the moment you sell that fucking piece of shit for a profit, what the fuck are they going to leave you with? I know people who were able to pay for their kids' schooling by owning an investment property before their kids were even in some sort of secondary schooling. And now you're going to steal that opportunity from them. And now you're going to tell us on top of that we don't have the right to be disgruntled, because you're going to come out and start throwing billions of dollars again, because you're going to tell us, oh, we're going to make this many homes by 2030 or whatever the fuck it is. This is the same people that are telling you that, oh, you know,
modular.
This is Canada. This is the way it is. I know it's hard for you people, and that we just have to get through it because we are Canadians. That has nothing to do with it. It's unfair what is going on. How many times do we have to be trampled on, spat on, have our rights taken away? And the fact is that when we start speaking up about this shit, people start calling you, well, you're just a conspiracist. You hate Canada. Well, get over it, buddy. That's just the way it is. No, it's not the way it is, man. This is the same fucking country that burned the White House down, that won Vimy Ridge, you know, and we have this non-stop beating heart of just wanting to move forward with our lives. But how the fuck can we move forward when they're just anchoring us from every avenue possible? You and I deserve better. And the thing is, our kids deserve better. They deserve much better than what the fuck they're going to be left with, because we're having people who actually are opting in to kill themselves through the medical system instead of actually dealing with it. That's how bad it is here. And people want to write these memes like, oh, hey, Canada, how you doing up there? We're doing fucking terrible, man, because no one gives a shit anymore. People are so demoralized since COVID that they just don't care. They're full on admitting to the wrongs that they've committed, and people still will go on about their day. You guys have to dig deep into your soul and understand that there's something wrong, fundamentally wrong with our society. No one is going to save you, not a new prime minister, not your MP, not your neighbor next door, but it's yourself. It's like what Andy Frisilla says, personal excellence is the best rebellion. And what is excellent about being a fucking sack of shit that doesn't care about the country?
Yeah. He's absolutely right. I have to agree with him on many levels. Although, what can you really do? You're being oppressed by your own government. All you can do is try and vote for a government that will put more money in your pocket, reduce your taxes, make life better for yourself. You know, if you just go, well, it doesn't matter who you vote for or what you do, you got to try and do the best for yourself. No, you're being pressed down at every corner. You're paying too much tax, right? If like he says, if you do build up some kind of a business and you want to sell it, you're being taxed on that, and they're wanting to increase the taxes at every corner. And you've got guys like Mark Carney that are out there just basically spending billions and billions and billions of dollars, and it's not his money. It's not money. Well, hey, what's he doing? Printing it out of thin air? Well, yeah, pretty much, because the government controls the printing presses. But, when you burden the taxpayers with billions and billions, it's like, okay, maybe right this second you don't have to pay that back, but the children, the people that are going to be taking over the world, right, our kids are the ones that are going to be burdened by all of the billions that are being spent today. He's got it right. Absolutely right. Hot Jelly Rolls. Good to see you in there. Nice to see you. ABD is in there. Edward Cam is in there. Brett is in there. Brett having a bad time with the people with the wrenches in the chat. Sorry to see that's happening. Don't worry about the wrenches and stuff like that. Just join in on the conversation and whatever. Yeah, we've got, let's see what else is going on here. Oh, yeah, I played this one before. We had Jagmeet Singh. You probably know or have seen Jagmeet Singh, because he usually has, let's see here. He usually has a turban on, all right? Okay, this guy is the leader, or he was the leader of the NDP, the New Democratic Party in Canada. And I've showed this clip before, but I'll show it again here. And generally, you never see him without his turban on in public. But he's obviously gone to be a nobody at this point, because he just basically turfed Dean's party, the NDP, down to pretty much nothingness. So here he comes up with a video where he's not wearing his turban, and which is kind of funny to see this. And basically, I think I think he was born in Canada, right? But his background is East India. But because he's been affiliated with bad people from India, I think that that India deems his as being somewhat of a terrorist, and he's not allowed to even travel to India anymore. So that's a deal on him. And he basically, in the last election, decimated the New Democratic Party, the NDP party, to where it's pretty much nothing at the moment. And but he's back showing his face again on social media. This is Jagmeet Singh.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Get ready with me. Summer edition. About to go for a walk.
Summer
I'm gonna
edition.
wrap up my head and also share with you some ideas.
Oh.
Ever since the last election, something's been happening. People have been coming up to me and saying thank you for your service. Folks have been biking by and yelling it out. Folks have been shouting it out from their cars. People have been coming right up to me and saying it. People have DM'd me. And first of all, thank you. It's really sweet of you to say that. But it also got me thinking about service and leadership and how I feel about that. So let me share with you my thoughts on it. When I was a kid, if I ever went to an organization or group that was Sikh-led, and you asked who the leader was, they would point out a brother or sister. And if you went up to them and chatted with them and said, oh, I hear you're the leader, they would say, no, no, no. They never wanted to be referred to as the leader. They'd say, oh, no, I'm just a sevadar. And what sevadar means is one who serves. And so they were reluctant to be referred to as a leader because they didn't want to be thought of as a person that was bossing folks around or at the top or calling the shots. But instead, they wanted to know that what they were doing was just service. They were just serving their community, serving people. And that's what I grew up believing leadership was. Leadership was, to me, service. And so when folks say to me, thank you for your service, it's probably the nicest thing you could say, because that's exactly what I believed, and I continue to believe that leadership is. It's the ability or the honor to serve. So thanks.
But I don't think you were actually serving anybody. You were maybe serving your own interests, trying to, put yourself up on the pedestal. And during the last election, all you did was had negative rhetoric towards Pierre Poilievre, where you were just ragging on him the whole time. You weren't serving anybody at all except your own interests, by way of making sure that the Liberal Party got in and that Pierre did not get in. So shame on you for doing that.
For saying that. And it also means that I couldn't have served in the first place. I wouldn't have had the honor of serving, but for people who supported me. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody who supported me. Thanks to everybody who donated, voted, who believed in our vision. Thank you to all of you. We couldn't have done the work we did without you. So
right. He's pretty much, other than this video here, he's like disappeared from existence, and the NDP party doesn't want to have anything to do with them anymore.
And I guess this is a good time to chat a little bit about what I'm up to now. I've been spending...
Oh, man. Don't tell me that he's going black bloc.
A lot of time with the family, thinking about what the next role is for me. But I want you to know, no matter what I do, I will always continue to push for better ways for us to take care of each other. I always want to fight for you. I want you to know that I believe in my core, and I always will believe, that we are all one, and that we are better off when we take care of each other. All of us are better off when we lift each other up. So I'm going to continue to find ways to talk about that and to continue to promote that.
Good for you.
We want to build a fairer world, a better world.
But you pretty much decimated your political career, so I don't think we'll be seeing you in politics too much soon. Maybe you might at a maybe a municipal level, but definitely not in the federal level.
It's going to be a world where we imagine that we're all one, and a world where we find better ways and more ways to take care of each other. Well, appreciate you all. Thanks so much. Thanks for all the love and support. Right back at you. And I guess we're going to go for a walk now. All right, take care.
Okay, we'll be checking out that OnlyFans girl that you had on your campaign there. I don't know if you remember that, but that was pretty funny. He brings on this social influencer to help him with his campaign. She turns out to be a big star on OnlyFans, and that didn't work out really well. I think that's why part of why he lost the whole thing. You can't make that up. That's for sure. Okay, Mark Carney hasn't done anything for Canada. Tariffs are higher now than when he took office. And yeah, personally, I don't trust the guy. I don't know if you do, but Mark Carney has a little bit of something to say here for us here. Let's check out Mark Carney with our next bit here. Mark, what's up?
We will have a discussion on the current state of negotiations with the United States. I will say that, as you are aware, our senior ministers, my chief of staff, myself, were engaged in continuous discussions. Minister LeBlanc will be reinforcing those discussions over the next few days in Washington with the United States. We are looking for the best deal for Canada. We're only going to...
You notice he always has that pen in his hand. This is Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, the banker. He's the banker who the Liberals voted in. Elbows up. Yeah, elbows up on Mark Carney. But he's always got that little pen in his hand, you know, kind of like this, you know. Like, yeah, I'm the banker, and yeah, we'll be doctoring up those documents there and making sure that Canada gets the best deal from the United States. But in fact, as it turns out, he didn't get any kind of he was the shittiest bargainer of all. He didn't even bargain with Trump at all. Really, it was up to Canada to get rid of the milk cartel, because the milk cartel is really what Trump hates, because in the U.S., they want to be able to sell to Canada milk products, dairy products, chickens, eggs, things like that. That whole sector is under a giant cartel preventing the U.S. from entering our market. And that in itself, which is probably only about 3% of what we produce here in Canada, and what the tariffs are kind of all about. And that is what is making it so that Trump is going, no, you guys get rid of that, or else we're going to be doing 35% tariffs. And also, you have all of these different liquor control boards across Canada have taken bourbon and American liquors out of the liquor stores in Canada, which is still happening to this day. And Trump doesn't like that at all, because that's even worse than a tariff. That's actually banning particular segment product of what America produces from being sold into Canada. That's worse than it. That's a not even 100% tariffs. That's a complete ban, right? It's one thing about doubling or making the price 100% higher than what it is. That would be a 100% tariff. But when you ban products from your shelves, that's like saying, no, stop it. We're not even going to accept any of your product here in Canada.
Accept the best deal for Canada. That is very much informed by our discussions. We understand as well that we all understand that the global trade environment is changing, and there are some countries that are pulling back, that are restricting market access.
Yeah,
but there's even more countries that are,
you know, and the best deal that you're going to get from the States is probably you have zero tariffs for products coming into your country, and the States puts up a 10% tariff on your products coming into the States. That's the best deal that you're going to get from the States, you know. And Mark Carney has to realize that the United States is the shopping mall of the world, right? And it's like, if you want to have a store in the shopping mall, you got to pay the shopping mall a little bit of money. Okay, so if you want to sell your products into the States, you're going to have to pay a 10% tariff. But you better not have any tariff for the products coming into your country, or else he's going to tariff you up higher than that 10% rate. That's what you see is happening. You know, and these idiots like Mark Carney fail to understand that. Why is it that I can understand that and understand that we have to get rid of all tariffs in Canada, get rid of the milk cartel, you know, dairy, whatever, poultry cartel that's happening, get rid of all that stuff, which is ingrained into our we have acts that have been passed in Canada so that you can't get rid of that. And he actually passed that act just a little while ago. So he knew what the hell was going on. And now that they've done that, the only way to get rid of it is to call Parliament back and to get rid of those acts, and then to go into Quebec and into Ontario and get rid of those cartels. But I don't hear anything about the Canadian government doing anything like that. I don't think he has the balls to do that. If I was the Prime Minister, that's the very first thing that I would be working on, is getting rid of those cartels and making sure that we don't have any kind of tariffs at all to anything coming into Canada from the States, just like the other countries that have made deals with the United States have actually done, right? And until that's done in Canada, and if you start putting up different tariffs, and in fact, Trudeau put up tariffs even before Carney became Prime Minister, and those tariffs are still in effect, which are kind of retaliatory to what Trump is doing to us here now. So, and until you get rid of all those tariffs, we're in deep caca.
That are opening up to market access, and the premiers have helped lead this with individual trade initiatives to Asia, to Europe, with partners around the world, and we are building on those. And part of what we will discuss is how we can be best coordinated to building positive trade relationships.
You know, but it is so hard to sell something to Asia or to Europe or to other countries because there are oceans in between them and us. There's no ocean. It is so easy to trade with the United States because you just put something on a truck and it's there. You don't have to load it onto a boat or onto an airplane to send it over to Asia or somewhere like that. Plus, those guys don't buy our products in Canada because of our cost to produce the products. In fact, we hardly produce any products to begin with. Most of what we have in Canada is the natural resources. You know, our minerals, you know, iron, silver, ores, gold, you know, potash, softwood lumber, things like that. Things that really cost a lot to produce. And that's what some countries like China and places like that are already buying. How can you increase sales to other countries when they're already maxed out as it is? You know, our biggest trading partner is the United States. And of course, the United States have put up tariffs of 50% to everything as far as, you know, iron and things like that going into the States. Iron, what is it? Aluminum and copper. Those are the things that are being taxed at 50%. And they're taxing every country that, not just Canada. So you can't cry about that. You know, obviously, one of the reasons that they were doing that is because China was funneling their cheap steel into Canada, and we were simply taking that cheap steel and then reselling it into the States, which Trump was pissed off about that. And of course, China is doing that with a lot of other countries. So that was it. It was in order to have those products be produced in the States, it was a matter of taxing those at 50%. So I don't know that there's any way of getting away with the lowering that 50% tariff on those products in particular. But everything else needs to be taxed low. Make it to 10%. Allow the United States to bring their products into Canada. Again, because of the high cost of any, let's say the guy was building furniture in Canada and wanting to sell that to Indonesia, for example. Pretty hard sell when you're paying the guy $20 an hour in Canada. Meanwhile, they're building furniture in Indonesia for like $5 an hour or $2 an hour or whatever. Or same thing in China. How can you sell anything where it costs you $20 an hour to manufacture it in your country, and they're paying $2 an hour to their people in their country? It's like crazy. It'll never happen. So for that reason, we have to listen to what's happening in the States. Listen to me, Carney, but you're not going to listen to a guy like me or to somebody that uses any kind of common sense. But you're just going to try and just sit there and act like you're doing something and go, well, we have these other markets over, and we're actually, and what did he say? He said we're more European than an actual European country. Canada is more European than a European country. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. We're in trouble. Keep cutting the lumber, but I don't know who's going to buy it. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. Okay. Hang on. Interlude. Okay, so here's a bit with San Francisco. I don't know if you've ever, hands up, anyone ever been to San Francisco? You probably know of a place called Fisherman's Wharf, okay, which is kind of down the hill, down at the ocean level, okay? And this is a bit here showing how things are so bad in San Francisco that things are kind of decimated down there. I don't know what's going on with the livelihood of the businesses down there. Watch this.
Another one gone. Right next door, another one gone. Man, it's like 5-6 restaurants just in this little spot. Look at the size of this one, Aliotos, since 1925. Look how large this restaurant was. And Fisherman's Grotto, same thing, gone.
Fisherman's Grotto. I
All of
remember
this was
that.
the restaurant. All of these places are closed.
One of the largest.
All of them. They used to boil the crabs on this spot here.
Yeah, I was there.
Fresh local fish, not anymore.
What the hell's going on?
Another shop. This one's another one here. This was the kitchen right here. And this was the main entrance. Since 1925, after 99 years in business, gone. Man, this is sad. And next door to it, another one. This one doesn't have any sign of what it used to be, but it's closed for sure. Yeah. There it is, gone. They, believe it or not, still here.
Yeah, I remember Ripley's Believe It or Not. It was actually open when I was there. That's actually still open there, as he's saying. But a lot of those businesses are all gone for whatever reason.
If you're into donating your money. Now the exhibition has been moved out here. Next door, closed. And there's the sign, for sale. Good luck with that. Windows are boarded up. At least the 7-Eleven is still open. Yeah, at least the 7-Eleven is still open. But not next door. I can see.
Yeah, but 7-Elevens, they open and close like nothing, you know. Like they opened up a 7-Eleven here on White Avenue here, a couple blocks away from where I am right here. And there was so much theft out of the store that they closed it down. Like that's how bad it is here.
The next shop is closed, and the one in the corner is also closed. Closed and boarded up. This used to be a restaurant. There's the sign up there. Hot spot. Gone.
What the hell is going on?
And on this corner right here, another shop that's gone. This must have been one of those tour offices. All boarded up. They broke the windows.
You know, part of this is because of COVID, you know, that when COVID hit and then the government forced, you know, mandates and stuff and, you know, restaurants to shut down and to go Uber only and stuff like that. Like it's really unfortunate what's happened. Same thing with even in my city here. I can see lots of businesses that are still boarded up after COVID. And that was like a real shame that happened, and the government pushed that. And that's the reason that the convoy happened. Remember the convoy to Ottawa? It was because of mandates. It wasn't because that people were in the convoy going, oh, you shouldn't be getting the jab or stuff like that. It had nothing to do with getting the jab. In fact, a lot of people that were on the convoy had already gotten the jab. It wasn't about that. It was about the fact that there were mandates keeping people from doing the things that they normally wanted to do. And in fact, we're kind of finding that there's kind of lockdowns happening now to a certain degree. And we've got some stories about that going on here. I don't know if I can bring that one up here for you. Hang on. It's giving me a circle jerk here on that one. So I don't know if I can show you that one. Hang on. Nova Scotia. Oh, yeah. This is in Nova Scotia. This is another ban that's happening here right now. So this is the deal. If you don't know what's happening up here in Canada, but there's forest fires happening, right? So the province of Nova Scotia has actually banned hiking, okay? And this is the story on the hiking deal here. I did have a bit here on the what the government in Nova Scotia talking about it. But here's, I think he must be a hiker or something here. But Nova Scotia banned hiking in the woods because it causes fire. Okay, so this is the story on how this whole thing is happening and coming about and whatever. Just watch this.
Hey everybody, Jeff Evely here. I'm in Petersfield Provincial Park in the most tyrannical province of Canada, which is Nova Scotia, with my fuzzy friend Axel, where we walk pretty much every single morning. And here you can see that this area is taped off because that trail is the woods. But this area is not taped off because that's not the woods. This area is taped off because that's the woods, and there is a sign here that says trail closed due to extreme fire hazards. So that is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods.
And you know, what they've done is they've come up with a $25,000 fine for you going hiking in the woods. Believe it or not. I'm not talking about, well, if you go camping, you go hiking, you go strolling, you go walking in the woods, you'll be, and they catch you, you could be subject to a $25,000 fine. Okay, that's the worst part about this whole thing. It's like absolutely ridiculous. It's like you've never seen anything like that in your life. Yeah, if there should be another convoy, it should be the convoy to Nova Scotia. They should be going to Halifax to talk about these atrocious mandates that they put in.
This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This is the woods. If we go in there, fires will start. Axel, come on. Come on, buddy. You're going to start fire. Come on. That's a good boy. Come on, buddy. This area is not the woods. Right, buddy? Now, the first time the Tyrant Tim pulled this crap, this area was the woods, and there were pylons all across this trail, so I could not enter in 2023. But this is 2025, so it's not the woods. This area is the woods.
Oh, yeah. Craziness. The true essence of a dictatorship is, in fact, not its regularity, but its unpredictability and caprice. Those who live under it must never be able to relax, must never quite sure if they have followed the rules correctly or not. Yeah. And that's where we're at right now in Nova Scotia, because they're worried about any fires starting in the woods. $25,000 fine for crossing that tape. And they've actually set up a hotline so that you can report your neighbor for entering the woods. Oh my gosh. You can't make this crap up. Let's hear about the woods and the goings on in Nova Scotia from the man himself, the Premier of Nova Scotia.
Effective 4 p.m. today, we're telling Nova Scotians, stay out of the woods. We are restricting travel and activities that really aren't necessary for most of us. Hiking, camping, fishing, and the use of vehicles in the woods are not permitted. Trail systems through woods are off limits. Camping is allowed, but only in official campgrounds. The fine for violating any of these bans is the same as the fine for the ban on burning, $25,000.
Whoa!
And if you're a smoker, for God's sakes, be mindful of where you're butting your butt out. If you don't, and you cause a fire, we will hold you accountable. So what does this mean if you have a home or cottage surrounded by a wooded area? We strongly encourage you to stay out of those woods.
Stay out of the woods. Little Red Riding Hood, stay out of the woods.
Regardless of where they are.
Not allowed. Not allowed.
Please don't do anything that could unnecessarily put you, your family, or your neighbors at risk. This situation sucks. Summer is one of the best times in Nova Scotia, and we all look forward to getting outdoors and enjoying our
See, while this guy is sitting in his office tower, in Halifax or whatever, wearing his shirt and tie, never does ever get into the woods or go and enjoy life,
Beauty that surrounds
telling
us.
everyone else what to do.
I get that, and I'm right there with you as Nova Scotians. But you can still go to the beach. In fact, that's a great place to be on these hot, dry days.
Well, yeah, you're by the ocean there, so you can hang around the ocean, I guess.
Just no bonfires. If there's a short trail to get from point A to point B, like from the parking to the beach or to the lake to fish, that's fine. But that's it. No heading into the woods to spend time there. I know it's inconvenient. I know it's the height of summer vacation and people want to do all the activities that we so much enjoy in our great outdoors. We have a beautiful province. I know everybody wants to enjoy it, but we have to stay out of the woods.
Stay out of the woods. If you live in Nova Scotia, stay out of the woods, okay? Not allowed.
Small price to pay right now to avoid the kind of devastation that we saw from the wildfires in 2023. Nobody wants to go back there.
Hit that like button. If you like what you're seeing, give us a subscription. Sub up. We only have 7713 subs. I have lost about 40 subs in the last month, as a matter of fact, looking at my sub number. 7713 is the Tommy Temper sub here. We know that about 20% of you watching are not subbed up to the channel, so hit that subscription button. It's really easy. And click that bell so you'll be notified when we go live, because, we do a different kind of a podcast here. You don't see it everywhere on the internet. We're like one of a kind. And you'll love to be coming back because we serve it up like you don't see anywhere else. Yeah. Canuck content. Yeah, exactly. Nuts and crackers. You got it. Charlie Cheswick in there. You got a good show on there too. 40 ain't going to hurt or help. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I don't cry over subs. When have I ever? Well, I have vocally cried over subs only because it's a show. It's all a show. The internet is all a show. It's not about money, right? That's for sure, because anybody donate to my channel, hey, give us a donation. I don't care. But it's not about money. It's about the principle, right? It's about the principle of the whole thing. And I'm here for the principle because I don't like the way what's happening. And I'm out for the little guy. You know, like somebody out there is going to go, oh, yeah, but Tommy Temper, you're not the little guy. No, I'm not the little guy, but I'm not the big giant guy either. I'm the guy that's kind of in between, but I like to fight for the little guy, right? Show you that, hey, there is a guy out here that's talking about this crap that's hurting you. You know, whether you're in the States or in Canada, a lot of this is like universal. It doesn't matter where you are. You want to have less government. You want to have more money in your pocket, fewer taxes, be able to buy more things from your grocery store, right? And to have a better life. That's what it's all about. Pay less rent. If you're going to buy a place, pay the least amount of money for some place that you're going to buy. We don't need to have, you know what? I was just looking at charts, and I'm talking about here in Canada, about people are crying about rents are high, the price of housing is high, and there's no jobs, and it costs more for food and everything like that. And what's the reason for that, you know? And then I go and I look at the graphs and I see, well, when did massive immigration start in Canada? And it absolutely started right about the same time when all those housing prices and everything else started going up. So if you have massive immigration, you absolutely will be paying more for everything. And you better go and look at the statistics and you'll see what I'm talking about. And you want to make sure that you don't have too many people coming into your country. Otherwise, there will not be enough to go around for everybody else. And you end up paying more, higher inflation. The government has to print more money, and you have less money in your pocket, and you have a poorer lifestyle. So you have to watch out. And Trump is smart down in the States where he's going, hey, we have open borders. This is not helping our country. It's actually hurting our country because there's going to be fewer houses for people to live in. Rents are going to increase. The price of housing is going to go up. And it absolutely happened more so in Canada than in the States because we're a smaller economy. But we see exactly what happened. I've got my Mark Carney pencil in my hand here talking about this. But, you know, we have to slow down on all of that stuff and maybe go into what's known as reverse immigration or negative immigration. And that might be, it won't help us from where we are right now. But we have to do something about that. You know, like wages have not gone up all that much in the last 10, 20 years at all. Like we're sitting at the same kind of wage levels, but the price of everything else has gone up so much more that you're not able to buy as much now as you were in the past. And that's where we have to make changes on the number of people that are coming into the country. I hate to say it, and I'm not, you know, hey, I was born in Canada. You were probably born in the States, wherever you are. So, you know, it's not like you immigrated to where you are and now you're, or I didn't immigrate here and now I'm pissed off at and don't want more immigrants coming in. No, but have it at a level that is sustainable, right? I.e., if you don't have enough houses, well, stop bringing people in. If you don't have enough jobs, well, stop bringing people in, right? And bring in a kind of a balanced number of immigrants, depending on what you have as far as housing and jobs. You know, just simple economics. Economics 101. Let's apply that across the board, and it does work quite well. Here's something that's going on. This bacon sandwich thing and Islamophobia. I don't know what this whole thing is all about, but I saw this where bacon sandwiches, people are putting on stuff like that, and the so-called leftards are now saying pictures of this bacon sandwich is Islamophobic. Well, of course, in the realm of the Islamics, they don't like eating pork. We know that. I know that. You know that. We all know that. So don't put this kind of stuff in their face. Don't, you know, make fun of the whole situation by posting up stuff like this. It's just not great. Okay, give everyone a chance. Okay, we were all wrong. Carney is the worst guy for Canada, and if you voted for him, you were wrong. So you're going to have to change your ways. But you know what? I think if there was an election to be called right now, I think that the Liberals would still get in again in Canada. I don't know that there's anything that you can do to change the fact that certain provinces are Liberal, and they're going to vote Liberal. It doesn't matter how much wrong or right that the guy is. And you know what? He got in under the guise of saying that the bad guy was Trump and that he needed to fight Trump, right? Stick that in his ear. But you know, and at this point, if there was an election right now, he'd still be saying, well, look at Trump's giving us 35% tariffs, so Trump is still the bad guy. We got to fight Trump. No, you're doing a shitty job of negotiating with Trump on the tariffs. You're the bad guy, as far as I'm concerned, in Canada, because you never negotiated properly and you didn't come up to any kind of an agreement at all. You were gallivanting around, going over to Europe and trying to say stuff like, oh, well, we don't need the States. We can just trade with Europe and trade with China and trade with other countries around the world, and we don't have to trade with the United States anymore. We can just go and do our own thing. No, that was actually really bad policy. So shame on you. Shame on you.
Slick blotter city owner told me is the coward. Is the show you gotta see. Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around.
So where are we now? We're to the point where we're saying Alberta wants independence. And I know guys like Brett are going to say, well, Tommy Temper, you turncoat, whatever, traitor, whatever, wanting to leave Canada and this kind of thing. Really, if you want a better life and you live in Alberta, separation, independence, whatever you want to call it, is probably the best thing. We're sick and tired of what's happening in Ottawa. We're sick and tired of our government. And by rights, Alberta could separate, and we would all be way better off living in Alberta without having to worry about all of that sucking of the money coming out of Alberta. You know, we pay for so many other provinces out there because of the money that we make here in Alberta.
Conspiracy theories
and we're tired of it. So let's go. Independence.
Question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around. Trolls are everywhere. They abound. They abound. They abound. They abound. They abound. They abound. They abound.
And we'll find out more about that. There is a organization called the Alberta Prosperity Project. APP is known as, and they're the ones that are pushing for Alberta independence. And I signed up with them, saying that I would vote for independence. You know, and people are going to go, oh well, yeah, like maggot moron or whatever, Cadamus Rex. I don't know if you're saying that about me. Do not disrespect me. And if anyone disrespects me, then you might be banned or given a timeout in the chat, okay? So I'm just telling you right now. Yeah, of course, you don't live in Alberta, so you're pissed off if Alberta separates because you're getting our Alberta money sent down to Eastern Canada where you live, so you don't want us to separate. But if you live in Alberta, it's like, yeah, why not separate? We could be our own country. So what if we're landlocked? We're already landlocked, you know? No big deal.
Conspiracy theories swirl around. Trolls are everywhere. They abound.
The trolls are everywhere. But anyways, yeah, I'm pro that, if only for the reason that Ottawa needs to understand that we need to be treated fairly, and we need to get rid of this equalization payment crap where all it's doing is sucking money out of Alberta. And then our government operates at a deficit because we don't have enough money to pay off the debt and the deficits for running the government in Alberta. Like, really, you guys don't see that. I live in Alberta, so I see what's happening. with the numbers in the government. The reason that we're in bad shape is because of that. Curly May Q in there from Facebook. Good to see you in there. Oh, hang on. Let me put that up there and read it. But why is nobody speaking? We need to do a constitution and this and that prior to even making sure people want it. And also, I think I remember right, the native will lose everything, so they will have to renegotiate prior to signing. Well, no, they won't lose everything, because if Alberta does separate, we will make sure that there are talks with any Aboriginals in Alberta, and to make sure that they are in a better position than they are presently within Canada. So there's no big deal with that. I wouldn't worry about that. Thanks a lot for that comment from Facebook. Curly Mo Q. Alberta has been Confederate. Yeah, well, we're in the situation where we've got to do something here now. We can't just sit and do what where we're at here now, because really, all my life, Alberta has been taken advantage of by Ottawa. You guys don't remember, but I remember even when Pierre Elliott Trudeau was the Prime Minister of Canada, he unjustly took advantage of Alberta by trying to nationalize oil, right? And when he did that, all of the oil companies bailed and didn't want to have anything to do with it, and it all crashed in his face, and the whole province of Alberta went into a deep depression for many, many years, for probably a good almost 10 years. Things were really, really right down the tube because of what Trudeau did. I don't mean Justin, but his father. And so we were really badly taken advantage of back then. And all of these years we've been taken advantage of through the payments. So things have to change. And you know what? We came up with a plan to get rid of the equalization payments, at least provincially here. We wanted to get out of it, right? And there have been bills passed in the province here to get out of it. We want to get out of it, but Ottawa doesn't want to listen to Alberta. So people here in Alberta have had enough of Ottawa. So the only thing to do is to become an independent regime, province, whatever, country, become our own country. And you know what? If the rest of Canada doesn't want us to build a pipeline to Tidewater, then we'll just do it through Montana and then in through the States. There's always that route if somebody doesn't want that. Or the other thing is, once Alberta becomes a country, we can just say, well, all those Chinese widgets that are coming via the train from British Columbia across Alberta to get to the rest of Canada, we'll just really up the tariffs on that if you don't allow us to have a pipeline to Tidewater through BC. There's other ways of doing stuff like that. We can restrict product going to central and eastern Canada once we become our own country. So keep that in mind. That's always a possibility. Not that we would want something like that to happen, but people are thinking about stuff like that, and people want some change. There's no doubt about that. We need change. Change is always good. Change is not going to be for the bad. And, people are going, oh, no, it'll be worse. Yes, it will be worse for the rest of Canada. Yes, it will be worse. If you're sitting over there in Quebec or in Ottawa relying on equalization payments to fund your government, yes, you're going to have to come up with some other way of financing your debt. Maybe look into some of your own resources over there instead of relying on Alberta's resources, because we're basically holding up Canada. And now you've got Trump wanting to pull automobile production out of Canada back into the States. You're going to see automobile plants closing down in Ontario. They're going to be closing down all over the place, and you won't have car production. And as a matter of fact, and Carney is so stupid. He goes, well, we want to make everyone drive an electric car. In Alberta, we produce oil. We don't need electric cars here. Sure, buy an electric car if you want to. Sure, there's superchargers around, but they're not everywhere, right? And for me, if I was going out of town and whatever, I would have a big problem driving an electric car because there aren't chargers all over the place. And you go into rural Alberta, you'd be stuck in the middle of nowhere with your Tesla. So for us, we don't want to be conned into or forced into buying an electric car. And this is what the situation is in Canada. Carney has mandated it that as of 2026, next year, 20% of all automobiles sold in Canada must be electric, right? They must be electric. That's a mandate. That's like what we fought for. We went to Ottawa fighting against mandates, okay? And now we're seeing the totalitarian regime of the Liberals and Mark Carney forcing Canada and forcing that down our throats, and then every year making it more, like 20%, 40%, blah, 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 until finally 2035 to be 100% of all light vehicles, like pickup trucks and automobiles, to be electric by 2035. You're talking 10 years from right now. Now, will that happen? No frickin' way. Carney's an asshole, and for him to even come up with something like that, it's just a bunch of bullshit. And it's gotta change. And one way to change that is to get rid of Carney. And you gotta, if you don't want the vehicle mandate, electric vehicle mandate in Canada, there's only one way out. You got to get rid of Carney. You got to vote him out. You got to bring in the Conservatives, and the Conservatives will definitely take that bill out, make it so that that's not a requirement, so that you don't have to do that. The same thing as what Trump did in the States, because you guys had the same thing in the States, where you guys had the electric vehicle initiative, where a certain number of vehicles had to be electric. In fact, I think they might have that in California still as a state type thing, but at least it's not wide right across the United States. And he's also gotten rid of the rebates, right? Because if these electric vehicles were so good, why would you need a rebate? Why would you need the government to subsidize your purchase of your electric vehicle? If it was so good and it worked so well and it was 100%, you'd be buying that electric vehicle right now. They'd be flying off the dealer's shelves like hot cakes, but they're not. Okay, they're not. Not everyone wants one. Not everyone can live with one. Even your farmer in the middle of Montana, he probably doesn't want an electric Ford F-150. That kind of stuff, or he doesn't want a Tesla Cybertruck to be hauling bales around on his farm. I don't think I've seen too many farmers using Tesla Cybertrucks to haul bales and stuff like that, right? It isn't prime time. Like maybe eventually, if oil becomes so rare that it becomes so expensive, then people will buy electric vehicles. Like it will happen, it'll happen over time. And, like I'm not anti-electric vehicles. I own a golf cart. I drive around at the lake with a golf cart. I could have bought a gas golf cart, but I didn't. I bought an electric golf cart. And you know what? It works perfectly well. It has like really good pickup and go. Like really the torque on those electric motors are just pretty good, I'd have to say. Goes up hills, no problem at all with that torque. So I know what an electric car is like by driving a golf cart, and pretty much that's what a Tesla is, a golf cart. But would I buy an electric anything, four-wheeler vehicle? at this moment that's electric? No, I wouldn't, because I live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the middle of nowhere, the sticks. It's like, this is the stupid part about it. There is land north, south, east, west of Edmonton. It doesn't matter which way you go. It's raw land. It's like, for as far as you can see, it is land. Okay, it's farmland all over the place, right? But yet Edmonton is kind of the city that is the first city that was deemed in Canada to be the 15-minute city, right? In other words, oh no, don't build out, build up, increase your number of people that are living per square foot or whatever in the big city, and tear down houses and build eightplexes on a lot that normally had a single family house, is what they're doing in the city. They actually have done that, where they've rezoned the whole of the city, so that if you tear down a single lot house, you're allowed to build an eight unit house without parking for those 8 units too, because how the hell do you get parking for an 8-suite building on a single lot? It doesn't happen. So you don't even have to have parking for, it's that mentality of like, and you won't be able to sell each of those 8 units. It's just a rental place, right? So you rent those 8 units, and the guy that lives there doesn't have a car. He only has a scooter, electric scooter or something like that. And he's only going to be riding his electric scooter no more than 15 minutes away from his house, because he's going to have a store, he's going to have a medical center, he's going to have, all those things that are necessary for life. And they're going to tax airplane and airplane fuel and stuff like that so much with this net zero bullshit, green airplane fuel, so that it is going to be so expensive for you to be going on an airplane trip. And they're even talking about, I've heard in some European countries, where they're going to tax or limit or keep track of how many times that you travel, and limit the number of times that you travel per year. Like, and it's all to save the planet, right? All of this thinking is to save the planet. We have to save the planet. We have to limit the amount of carbon that we're putting into the atmosphere. And we have to make sure that you don't travel. You stay where you are, and that you've heard this saying before, that you will own nothing and you will be happy. You will own nothing and you will be happy. That's what the government wants for you.
Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of pussy.
Yeah. You will own nothing and you will be happy. And we want free drugs for everybody. We want zombies everywhere running around the streets, bent over fentanyl addicts, free drugs for everyone, and everyone buzzed out of their minds, doing the fent bent out in the streets and stuff like that. They want that. The government likes that, apparently. I don't know where did they come up with that, to where, especially here in Canada. Well, you guys had that in the States. In fact, it happened in the States first. Places like Portland, Oregon, and Washington, Seattle, Washington, and California, where they said, yeah, we're to get rid of this drug problem that we have, we'll just allow open drug use. Okay, that happened down in the States first. I remember it. And then the stupid idiots up here in Canada watched what was going on down there, and they go, yeah, open drug use. That seems like a pretty good idea. Because if you can't beat them, join them. I don't know if that's what the mentality was. Yeah, well, instead of making drugs illegal, it's pretty much impossible to make drugs illegal because people are going to buy them anywhere. May as well just say, hey, just buy whatever you want, use whatever you want, and we'll just sanction it and make it so that the cops don't arrest you for it. And we'll just loosen all of the rules, the justice system, so that if anybody does get caught doing anything, they just don't go to jail. They just get released right away. And the fines for it are going to be pretty much nothing. To the point that, I ask a cop, why don't you arrest these guys that are out on the street? doing drugs, open drug use. And they go, well, we don't arrest them because City Hall, who pays us, tells us not to arrest them, right? It's at the municipal level. And at the municipal level, it comes from the federal level, where Trudeau and his came up with the whole idea, the Liberals, to make open drug use. And they said certain cities are going to have open drug use, like Vancouver and Toronto and Edmonton and whatever, various cities. And so we got stuck with that problem and that situation. And that's why I go a couple of blocks from where I live. Even, hey, there was a bunch of people strung out, lying down on the sidewalk right in front of my house here the other day, smoking a meth pipe and just like blitzed right out of it, hardly able to move, and banging on my door trying to get in the house and stuff like that. And it's like ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Super Salty, good to see you in there. Nice to see you in there. Pooh Sisters, I see you in there too. Good to see you. Yeah, so it's a bad situation that we're in, and we need to make some changes. And the other thing is that the politicians in Canada don't seem to think that we have any kind of a fentanyl problem here. But yet I can go, and I actually have watched videos of people that are digging into these drug cartels that have set up shop from Mexico in Canada, from Punjab, from India, set up drug labs in Canada. And you have the Chinese cartels that are funneling the precursors, the things that you manufacture fentanyl and meth and stuff like that with, that's being funneled in from China into Canada. And Canada is now the hub for all of this drug manufacturing that is happening. And from there, they're shipping it from Canada into the States, into Australia, into other countries, into South America, all over the place. And Canada has become quite a hub. And how is it that these YouTubers are coming up with going undercover and going into these labs and showing us what's going on, but yet the government in Canada doesn't see? They're like blindfolded. They're like going, no, there's nothing going on. They only confiscated or captured or whatever 1% of the fentanyl going into the States from Canada. It's just 1%. You keep hearing this 1% number all the time. And you know what? The politicians are lying. They don't even know what the hell is going on. And there's a hell of a lot more of it going on than what they know about. If they are only capturing a little bit of it and going, oh, no, it's only 1%. Yeah, well, they're probably only capturing 1% of it, right? And the other 99% of what's being produced and whatever, they're not catching. And it's flowing freely, because you cannot watch every shipment that's going in and out of Canada at all. There is so much of it happening that it's ridiculous. And, you know, I can testify to it by the number of people that I see hunched over in the streets in my city. My little city of Edmonton, Alberta, up here in the middle of nowhere, is absolutely filled with addicts all over the place that are doing fentanyl in particular, you know, because they're doing the fent bent. And, you know, I've taken you down downtown where we've given out my homeless shelter. I mean, you've seen a whole bunch of them down there. But it's absolutely ridiculous. And I know that the drug problem in Canada will not be under control until I stop seeing these people outside of my house doing that kind of shit. And it's ridiculous. We don't need that stuff. It's unacceptable. And it's the politicians in Canada that have gotten into this trouble. Absolutely. That's exactly who I can blame. And like I said, if you start with the point where I talk to the police that should be enforcing the law, and the police are not enforcing the law because the politicians are telling the police not to enforce the law, then you got a problem right there, right? And me, as a little guy, I can't solve that problem at all. All I can do is, bitch about it, whatever, come on the internet here and tell you that we've got a problem. But you guys know that you have a problem. All of North America has a problem. And you all have the same problem because we all have the same lax government that have all perpetuated this whole thing over the last 10, 20 years into making it a giant problem. Remember in the old days when Reagan was president, they had commercials on there saying, where they'd break an egg onto in a frying pan and go, "This is your brain on drugs," remember that old ad? And there were, way fewer drugs, and you didn't see people all strung out all over the place, and you didn't see homeless people all over the place. But the combination of high drugs, low amount of enforcement, and humongous amounts of immigration have brought about everybody out on the streets living in homeless shelters all over the place, doing all of these drugs, right? The high immigration brings the homelessness, and the homelessness brings the people doing the drugs, because there's nothing else for those homeless people to do other than to go, I feel sorry for myself. I feel I don't even want to live. I just want to find my next, or they get addicted to drugs, whatever. They get into that whole turmoil thing, right? And it's not good for society, not good for you, me, or anybody else. All they're doing is stealing stuff. They set up little they steal bicycles. Bicycles, that's got to be the number one thing that they steal, because they always have these little chop shops where they're chopping up the bicycles and reassembling them and filing off the serial numbers and stuff like that. Meanwhile, your little kid doesn't have a bicycle because every time you buy him a new one, it's like gets stolen. and the cops are doing nothing about it. They're like, chop shop. Look, there's a tent there with 1,000 bicycles piled beside it. We'll just close our eyes as we drive by it and not even look at what's going on there. But it's not only that. They're stealing lots and lots of other stuff. In fact, in Edmonton here, they just took down a homeless shelter that was like a high-rise homeless shelter. They'd built up, I think it was about 4 stories up, and it was really ramshackle construction. They had solar panels. They had a generator. They had fireplaces inside of it. They had propane stuff. They had a bicycle chop shop set up beside it. And it was in the woods, in the river valley, I think is where it was. And there's actually been 2 fairly big ones like that they've taken down here in the city. And the rest of them are just people living in tents, right? Tents all over the place. Tents, it doesn't matter where you live. The people are all over the place. It's ridiculous what's going on. And we need to do better for everybody. How can we accomplish the task? I don't know. But anyways, breaking news in the States, it's been a little bit different problem down there where they've got the sorority recruitment video is going viral after liberal women lashed out. What do you think? Do you like this video, or do you think that it's going way, 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 way too far?
There's a place you can go, I said, young man, when you're short on your...
Yeah, what do you think about this sorority video? Is it going too far? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that it looks pretty good to me. Like this might invite young girls to join the sorority if they can have some fun and stuff like that. What's wrong with a little bit of fun? It's actually pretty good. Looks good to me. But the liberal women are going berserk over stuff like this. They don't want stuff like this. It's like, oh no, the poor girls are sexualizing themselves. I know that they're going to be saying crap like that. I don't know. What happened to the good old days when this was just normal? Why can't you have normal anymore? You have to like get rid of normality in the guys that that it's driving men crazy. You know, I don't know. We're just men. We don't care. We like to see a little bit of stuff like that once in a while. Come on. Yeah, this is the big one here. This is what they're have done in Nova Scotia. This is the thing, you know, about making sure that they don't light anything in fire in the woods, right? Nova Scotia's crime and punishment. Okay, this is what your punishment is. Drunk driving, $1,000 fine. Okay, assault someone, $5,000. Use your phone while driving, $500 fine. Drive without insurance, $2,000 to $5,000. Shoplift, $1,000. Speeding, $400 fine. Trespass, $500. Illegal dumping, $50,000 to $5,000. But walk or bike in the woods, $25,000 fine. This isn't safety, it's control. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I would tend to think that is maybe a little bit overboard. And I want to see the first guy that gets that $25,000 fine. I want to see him on social media belly aching about that fine, because you know that that's going to be coming up. You know that that's going to be happening. 100% for sure. Yeah, let's hear also. Aaron Gunn is actually a pretty good guy. I like him. I like what he has to say. And he has something to say about Mark Carney. Let's listen to Aaron Gunn. He's actually an MP.
Mark Carney promised that he could, quote, handle Donald Trump. It was literally the entire premise of his election campaign this past April, and I really wanted to give him, as our Prime Minister, the benefit of the doubt. I really did,
Yeah.
but that's becoming more and more difficult to do as Canada continues to be hit by unjust, escalating tariffs. Just yesterday, there was more bad news. The tariffs on Canadian softwood lumber were doubled to more than 27%. For context, 66% of Canadian softwood is currently exported, and 90% of that goes to the United States. So it's pretty significant, dealing yet another devastating blow to a forest industry, especially here in BC and cities like Campbell River, that has already been hit by permitting delays and ideological restrictions that have shuttered mills and left much of the industry hanging by a thread. And look, I don't blame Mark Carney for the actions of the Americans per se, but dealing with this problem and dealing with Donald Trump specifically is exactly what he campaigned on. It was essentially his entire campaign platform. Here's just a sample.
And I think after 78 years, we can't change President Trump. So we need a leader who can stand up to him. We need a leader who can stand up.
It's not you.
I've got someone in mind. We are supporting our friends and neighbors in the crosshairs of the Americans and President Trump. United, we are standing up for Canada. United, we will win this trade war. We will build the strongest economy in the G7 that works for everyone. That's why I'm standing here in front of you. You can handle them. We can handle them. We are going to handle them. We are going to handle them. We can handle him. We can handle Donald Trump.
I think we can influence President Trump by taking seriously some of the issues that he raises.
We can and we will control our destiny with the right plan. Because in a crisis, plan beats no plan. And to win in a crisis, we know that we must act with overwhelming force to overcome the anxieties that people feel, to break through.
You know, this guy is the biggest liar that I have seen in an awful long time. And he has absolutely fooled everyone that voted for him. And really, I'm ashamed of him being our leader, because he conned everyone with his campaign and has done such a shitty job of dealing with Trump and the tariffs. Unbelievable. I really, I'm just, in fact, I want to shut my stream off here because even listening to him, I can't hardly listen to him.
Through the uncertainties that businesses face and to replace what the crisis is taking away. That's what our plan for Canada Strong will do.
Now, instead, let's look at Carney's record so far. He got rid of the digital service tax, which was a major irritant for the Americans, and got nothing in return. He's failed so far to get any major pipeline, energy project, or mine the green light, despite receiving conservative support to do so. $50 billion in additional investment has fled the country. Steel and aluminum tariffs have been increased to 50%, and all he has provided is cheap talk and empty announcements, including again yesterday with the promise to buy Canadian. This at the same time he is sending $1 billion. And
we've already bought Canadian. It's already happened. You know, it's like, even that pisses off Trump. It's like, what? You're telling Canada not to buy American? That pisses him off. Like, every single thing that these, even at the provincial level, all of these politicians have just pissed off Donald Trump to the point that he is putting 35% tariffs on Canada. Like, you guys are so stupid, it is unbelievable.
Taxpayer money as a loan to purchase ferries from the People's Republic of China. Look, all Canadians want the Prime Minister to succeed. I want the Prime Minister to succeed. All Canadians want him to live up to the...
I don't want him to succeed. I the whole time since he's been elected, I've seen him fail, to the point that if there is an election that happens, people should realize that, hey, you don't want to re-elect the failure. But, you know, people are so stupid that they're going to re-elect him again because they think that he's done a good job, and the bad guy is the orange man.
Promises he made during the election. But so far, he hasn't. And it's increasingly Canadian workers, especially in industries like forestry, that are being forced to pay the price.
Yeah, that's Aaron Gunn. Aaron Gunn, he's a conservative, so he's on the other side of the fence as the Liberals. But that's it. That's it. I get ranting on here, and you know, one of the reasons that my channel does not do well is because nobody promotes my channel. Nobody shares stuff out. Share me out on Facebook. If you have some groups on Facebook, share this out onto Facebook. If you're on YouTube, share it out onto your homepage or something. Give us a share out. Get us some subs out there. 7714. I think I gained 1 new subscriber during this stream. And it really, I'm seeing that the people that are really making it on YouTube are the people that don't go live. They just do little 15-minute bits, right? And they're succeeding. They got like 100,000 subs and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I'm small channel. I do these long rants here. I'm on here for 2 hours and 22 minutes, which is quite long. Sorry if I've been ignoring you, chat, because it's hard for me to engage with the chat while I'm here. Julie Smith, good to see you in there. Thanks a lot. Just shared to 10 places. Do appreciate that. I get more viewers on Facebook, believe it or not, Julie. I get more viewers or more views of my videos on Facebook than I do on YouTube, believe it or not. I don't know why that is, but I think it's because of people like you sharing the videos out. But we have some good stuff, and we like to keep up to date on what's happening. Again, I'm going to give a big shout out to these channels. You want to be following them and watching them. These are YouTube channels. Moose on the Loose, your #1 channel that you should be watching if you're in Canada. Clyde Do Something, Mr. Sunshine Baby, Angry Mortgage Podcast, Mark Nixon, John Bolton, Creighton's Right, Frank Vaughn, Salty Cracker in the States, Unacceptable Fringe, Sky News Australia, Northern Perspective, and Ryan Jesperson in Edmonton here. Big shout out to all of those channels. Thanks a lot. Thanks for sharing out, Curly. Good to see you, everybody on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. You're watching the Tommy Temper Show. I'm Tommy Temper, and you're the best. Thanks a lot for watching. Whoa.
Tell me is the collar, it's the show you gotta see. Tommy Temper is the guy.
Let's go.
Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy
Bye-bye for now.
now.
I got a new phone here. I've got a new iPhone here, and I need to get a new case for it. So I'm going to go shopping for a case for my iPhone here is where I'm going to go next. And I also have a little party to go to here later, so we're going to have fun there. And tomorrow, if it's going to be a nice day, I'm going to be at the St. Albert Car Show. I'm going to be driving my 1991 Cobra GT 5.0, doing burnouts all throughout St. Albert there, and that stuff. And then we're going to be back at the lake on Saturday for the big, what do they call it? Halloween in summer. Halloween in August event going on then. So we've got an action-packed lineup of stuff to do, and some of it we'll probably turn on the camera and let you see what's going on as we're moseying about the countryside here. But thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks a lot for being part of the stream here today. Take care, stay out of trouble, and if you can't stay out of trouble, vote for me. Richard Nixon.
It's the show you gotta see. Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around.
Bye-bye for now. That's right. Ooh, 79. Jeff, good to see you. I'm trying to shut the stream off. My wife is in the background. You've been bugging me through the whole stream here, so but I gotta go. Spend some time with the family here now.
Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around. Trolls are everywhere, they abound. Show you gotta see, Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around. Trolls are everywhere, they abound. It's the show you gotta see, Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around. Trolls are everywhere, they abound. It's the show you gotta see, Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around. Trolls are everywhere, they abound.
1090.
Show you gotta see, Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around. Trolls are everywhere, they abound. It's the show you gotta see, Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why. Conspiracy theories swirl around. Trolls are everywhere, they abound.
Wait, I'll talk to you as soon as the stream's over.
Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the question why.
I'm trying to stop my stream right now, right after this outro. Wow. It's hard for me to end. I love streaming so much. Okay, see you later. We're out of here. This time for sure.